This episode of Nintendo Pod Block is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support our family of podcasts, head over to patreon.com/bossrushmedia or search for us on the Patreon app on your smart device. Thanks for helping us build something better. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo. I can't reach you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Power Block here on Boss Rush Games. I'm your host, the enlightened, excited Eddie B. Joining me is the one, the only Bossman himself, Mr. Courty Derek.
Hello, Ed. How are you?
I'm doing fine. You're kind of low key.
I am. I still don't feel very good, but it's fine. You know, I mean, how many days are we into this year already? 15, and I haven't felt good like 47 of them. So,
oh no,
you know,
but you still sound good. You sound good, relaxed, smooth.
Well, it's because I'm all drugged up and ready to go.
Yeah, that's the best way to do things.
I got that Mucinex and that ibuprofen. That, you know, and then maybe before I go to bed, I might take a leave because I have this weird hip pain now for some reason that just developed today. So,
oh no,
I don't know.
Pleasures of getting older.
I don't know. I woke up this morning and I stood up and I felt like I couldn't stand straight up because my hip hurt. So I'm like, oh, great. Neat.
Oh, yeah.
And this is after my back already hurts. My lower back already hurts too.
It's going to rain tomorrow.
Oh, gosh. It's snowing here. I don't know.
Oh.
You live where it's warm, so.
Yeah, so I guess more snow for you.
Gross.
Well, we have the talented TikToker herself, Miss Courty Yikes. Hello.
Hello, gamers.
Yes,
How's everybody tonight or today or yesterday?
Can I tell you? So Wednesday, I got my booster shot.
Ooh.
And I was fine getting it because I was just like, okay, by the time it kicks in on the Thursday, I'll be able to go home, sleep it off, be ready for,
Nope.
For things to come. Get a phone call. No, got a phone call while I'm at work Wednesday, and get the call and says, Thursday, I'm not gonna be able to make it to work because I can't walk. This is another manager. So I have a booster shot inside of me that kicks in at 2:00, and it makes me literally sleepy. My back is hurting. I brought 2 Monsters. I have coffee, and I'm still struggling. I was a mess Thursday. I had to text Cory that I'm like, dude, I'm stuck at work because my plan was to get off of work, get ready for rehearsal, and by the time I got done with rehearsal and got home, I'll be ready to do Power Block.
Yeah.
The expansion pass. Nope. It literally ruined my whole day. So then, with that, I got home. We have a comfy couch in our living room. I didn't even cut the lights on. Didn't even take my coat off. Brought a massager to massage my back because it was hurting. Got on the couch and fell literally asleep with my work stuff on. When I woke up, it was 12:30 and I was still tired. Drunk a Sunkist orange, went back on the couch and fell asleep till 2:00 in the morning. And then got up and climbed on my bed and slept to like 10 something. It felt a little bit better. And once like the booster kind of effects like wear off or something, I'm ready to go through somebody's buffet because I was hungry as ever. I literally ran through some Chipotle at work Friday.
Ooh, we had Chipotle this weekend.
Oh, nice. Yes. I had a burrito bowl. I always get a burrito bowl. Maxed it. It was gone.
Dude, I gotta tell you, Chipotle, I got a burrito this weekend. I know we're kind of doing Snack Tendo early, but it's fine. I got a burrito yesterday. And the last couple times I've gone there, like the hot salsa has been too hot for me.
Yeah.
which is also worrisome for my taste palette, but it's fine. So I got the green salsa, which is like the medium salsa.
Yes.
Mm.
And I got the steak and some corn and some veggies and whatever. Oh my gosh, dude, it was like the best burrito I've ever had. I got extra cheese on that thing. Ugh. So I'm not I tried to like sour cream for a while and I just don't,
Hmm.
right? So I just I get extra cheese instead of sour cream now. And man, does that extra cheese make all the difference? It's so good. I love a good Chipotle burrito, man.
Oh
The thing
yeah.
is like our Chipotle has been so hit or miss for like the last couple years, but they're
Yeah.
finally on the upswing, you know. So, anyways, that was my
Yeah.
Chipotle story.
I had a burger and bacon sandwich from Denny's with
Mm.
seasoned fries. I brought me and my associate Denny's Sunday because I had to stay there the whole day for work. No, no, no,
You never
no,
buy me
no.
Denny's.
Yeah, me neither.
What query? I didn't know. I don't. Do you even have a Denny's in your
I don't
area?
even know where the Denny's.
uh, Courty, you know where Denny's is at in your state?
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes away from me.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
everything's really close. So
I
Uh,
mean, I know where there are Denny's, but
mhm,
there's not one like super close to me. So,
yeah. There's one that's a 15-minute drive from me. From work wise, it's about 7. It's like right where our Panda Express is at in our Chili's and stuff. So and then across the street from that is a Walmart.
mm,
uh, and I forgot to go to the grocery store. I may have to go to the grocery store tomorrow or Tuesday and see if they got that cherry lime made sun kiss because our 7 Up guy didn't come in, and I want some more of that and
right,
everything. It's so good. And then I tried Starry, which is get this because Pepsi stopped making Sierra Mist.
really,
Starry,
mm.
yes, Starry is replacing it. It's their citrus lemon lime drink now. With it. When I got Pizza Hut Saturday, get on me later about that, everybody. And I ordered it to see if they had it, and the guy there didn't even know that it was. He's like, I never heard of Starry. I'm like, well, this is the thing about it. Your Starry is the new Sierra Mist because they stopped making. And he's like, I didn't even know that. And I just found that out because our Pepsi rep came in and had it, and I'm like, oh. I'm like, sorry. I'm like, I just drunk this like on this like after work at where I get some sushi and stuff. I'm like, I didn't know that you guys made this. She's like, yeah, it replaced Sierra Mist. I'm like, wow.
nice.
Mm.
So that's been my snack Tendo. Courtney, what's your snack Tendo?
Mine. I went to Outback today. It was pretty bomb. Had a.
Did you get a bloomin' onion?
I know I didn't. I think
Oh
they're too
man, why
spicy.
not?
They're just too spicy.
No, no.
I don't like them.
Dude. If there's one thing, so we don't really go out to eat like ever anymore. But man, a good bloomin' onion. Oh,
Yeah.
get it. I would get it with extra seasoning, extra crispy, and extra sauce.
Ooh
Oh man,
no.
that sounds so good. That sounds so good right now.
You know what? I've never had Outback.
Oh,
It's
it's
not. It's not.
good.
No, I was gonna say it's not great, but their bloomin' onion's amazing. But I don't know. I'm not a big.
Yeah.
I'm not a big steak red meat person, though. To be fair, so
Yeah.
I used to
Yeah.
get the Alice Springs chicken, which was just like this cheese and bacon covered chicken.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would get, or like the shrimp. Oh, they have some bomb fried shrimp
Yeah, the
though.
shrimp is pretty good.
I have to try it there. I have to try this shrimp. Um, I know when it comes to steak, I have to have A1. I'm sorry. Like, if you don't have A1, I'm putting my steak to
Sounds to
go.
me you don't like steak, Ed.
Oh, I love steak. I love some good steak. I got the new steak one that was at Chipotle. Um, which is
Yeah,
fine.
that's not real
It's
steak
okay.
though.
Yeah, but
I
like
mean,
a
it is, but
steak,
it's not.
but like a steak, yeah, I need that A1, or I'm putting your food in the box to go, and then I'm going to the grocery store to get some A1, and then I'm eating it at home.
Part of me thought you were gonna say ketchup for a minute.
Oh no, ketchup, ugh, on
Uh,
steak.
yeah, I mean, dude, people do that. When I used to work at the
That's
restaurant, people used to ask for ketchup with their steak all the time.
it's not,
They
it's not-
also, some people also ask for peanut butter on their hamburgers too. So
yeah.
Okay.
Uh, it's a acquired taste. It's kind of one of their rare foods and stuff with the peanut butter on. I had peanut butter on the hamburger because I thought it was interesting. I'm like peanut butter, the peanut butter and jelly burger. I'm like, what the heck is this?
we
It's
also used to
okay.
get people come in and get fried egg on their hamburgers too.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes. I am one of
I
those people. Fried egg
I
is so good.
what is about it?
Oh,
Because I
it
think
just if you don't like dry burgers, then yeah, put the fried egg on it. It makes it extra juicy.
mhm. I
You
think
like
it's
a juicy
because
burger?
I think it's
That's
because of BL. I think it's because of the BLT. Because my mom, she puts a fried egg on in her BLTs with the
Yeah, I
mayonnaise
do
and
too.
stuff. Like
Yeah, well,
that's
that's because egg goes on everything.
oh, it
well, yeah.
does.
Let
It's
me
just
let
that.
me tell you. Speaking of egg on everything. So my wife bought croissants from the store, which she rarely does, but she bought like the big pack because we've both been sick and she's been eating it with soup
Mm.
and I've been eating it for breakfast. Man, I got some turkey sausage, cook
Ooh.
that up, get that those eggs going, right? And cut the
Mhm.
croissant open, put the eggs and the sausage and just a little sprinkle of cheese on there. I'm not a sliced cheese person, but I do like a little bit of the sprinkled cheese. I think it's because I can control how much I put on.
Yeah.
And like weird fact, even though I just said I put extra cheese on my burrito, I'm not a huge cheese person.
Really?
Yeah. So like if I have a hamburger, I don't put cheese on it. I don't like cheese on my hamburger. I just
So
like
there.
mayonnaise, mustard, and like to get a little fancy, I'll put some sautéed onions on there. But like,
So there's a level of dairy that you like.
yeah, I
I'll
mean,
say.
yeah, but like, you put a little bit of like sprinkled cheese on there is what we call it.
Hmm.
Oh, it's so good.
I thought you would say you put some like chozo sauce or something like something
Oh,
spicy.
mm-mm.
Um.
No, I'm when it comes to breakfast food, I'm just a salt and pepper guy.
Ah.
You just put
Okay.
salt and pepper on the eggs, and good to go. You know,
Normally, we would do pepper inside the yolk and cook it for scrambled eggs. That we do it, and then add the
mm,
salt like at the end. Um,
hmm
Courtney, I'm going to try that the fried egg on a burger,
Oh, you should.
um, and everything because
And then add avocado to it.
see that's the weird thing with avocado. I could do avocado for sushi. I can't
Mhm.
do. Because if I get a taste for avocado, I want guac with
Oh,
chips.
true.
But I would try it. I would try it.
You should.
Burger
Do
with a
it.
fried egg, avocado.
Mhm.
yep. Mm.
Corey,
Man,
any suggestions?
breakfast food is the best. Can we just
It
kind of put
is.
that out there? You
It
got you
is.
got the bacon, you got the turkey sausage out there. Which, by the way, I read something the other day. So I've been eating turkey sausage for like years because
Mm-hmm.
I've always been told that turkey sausage is healthier than pork sausage. And to me, like now I've eaten it for so long that I think it actually tastes better than that. But the other day I was doing some research because like my goal this year is to lose weight and I'm trying to figure out, you know, the best combination of like food and like light workouts and stuff based on time. And as it turns out, turkey sausage, aside from the fact that pork is, you know, is bad for your heart in some cases, is no better for you than pork sausage.
It's
But
true.
turkey sausage is so good,
I
though.
know. It is good.
Like I prefer like any kind of sausage. I prefer turkey sausage.
I do too. and it just made me upset that like aside from the bit the bad parts about pork in general,
Mm-hmm.
that turkey sausage on just like a nutritional level is no better for you. It made me sad, but it's okay. I'm going to continue to eat it because it's delicious. Are
Love
you
it.
a patty or a link guy?
Patty.
Uh, Link.
Yeah, I'm a link guy too, but what I usually do is like I'll cut the links in
Mm-hmm.
half and lay them flat. So I guess technically a patty. I guess that would technically be a patty person, but
If so, a patty I have to do with grits and a
mm,
biscuit.
you lost me.
Like I'm a,
You
my
lost me.
mom and my dad's family is from the South, Mississippi, Memphis.
Yeah.
I have
See,
had
I'm a pale white person from rural Ohio. Grits
mhm.
don't. Mm-mm,
Yeah,
nope.
see, I grew up in the Midwest with grits with my mom cooking it. It's a big Southern thing. Every time I went to Mississippi to go see my great grandma, and she would cook uh sausage, but it'd be the patty ones she would cook.
Mm-hmm.
And she had, of course, homemade biscuits with the butter, and the grits. The grits that they made it tastes different than where we did in the Midwest, and for some unknown reason, all of that combined together, even with some bacon is good too, added onto it. I used to eat the sausage with the grits, um,
Mm.
and that's how I would eat patties and everything because that butter and salt and black pepper and the grits went very well with the sausage. So I would just eat that up, and then at times when I'm trying to get the last pieces, sopped all of that up with the biscuit and ate it like that.
Mm.
Hmm.
You know what else is good? Speaking of sausage,
Oh god.
sausage gravy
Oh yeah.
with some biscuits. Mm. Actually, you know what sausage gravy is really good on? Or waffles. And I know people like when I say that,
What?
people look at me strange. But like, man, you get a good batch of sausage gravy, and you have these big Belgian waffles, and you just lay
Hmm.
it over the waffles. Oh, it's so good.
See,
It's better than a biscuit. Although I will not turn down biscuits and gravy.
sausage gravy, my mom does with mashed potatoes or with rice. She never makes it for breakfast.
Oh man, dude, you're missing out. Sausage gravy with biscuits is so good.
So, well,
You
everybody,
can get
that's gonna be.
no, you can go to the store and get like the Bob Evans microwavable cups of sausage gravy.
Mhm.
Oh, so good. You got to poke holes in the lid though, or else it'll be like ah.
Be a fire. Well, everybody, I think that's it for Snack Nintendo.
Yeah, it
uh,
came and it went. That's for sure.
I'm already about to hit Dunkin' Donuts tomorrow for that sweet pepper bacon, on the croissant. Oh, so good. I'm
Man,
gonna get
I'm
in.
so excited. I'm so excited to wake up for breakfast now that we just talked about all that.
Or you're gonna be slightly disappointed you don't have Belgian waffles and sausage gravy.
No, but I have turkey sausage and eggs and croissants, so we're good.
Oh.
Yes. So,
If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/bossroastmedia, and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.
we think I should have bought some Honey Nut Cheerios because that's good. Well, everybody, it's time for Play with Power.
Woo.
Woo!
Who wants to go first?
Me, because it's short.
Okay, Corey. What have you
So-
been playing with Power?
I played some Disney Dreamlight Valley
Hey.
and building my town. Super cool. Loving my town, you know? And then I played some Destiny 2. Iron Banner was last week, so was grinding for that awesome armor set. And then I played a little bit of Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. I don't. I just need to finish the game. It wasn't anything out of in particular. Although Link's Awakening is sitting there staring me in the face. So, but I'm off tomorrow,
Woo.
and I have no shows to record until Wednesday. Which, by the way, obviously this comes out on Wednesday. We record on Sunday, right? But I think I'm going to try to beat Link's Awakening before um, Wednesday.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, Courtney, I'm going to go next because mine is kind of
Do
short
it.
too.
You're good.
Been playing. Uh, I just got out of Midgar for Final Fantasy VII. Um, I think where I'm at, I think I'm about to get close to starting this too. Um, with it, um, well, Final Fantasy VII, really been enjoying that. Vampire Survivor, I've been unlocking more stages and more characters. Corey, you got something to say?
Oh, I was just gonna say Vampire Survivors is awesome. That game is so addicting that I have to like tell myself, okay, you're only playing 3 rounds tonight. Oh man, so good. I played some of that too, but like I don't really know what else to say about that game except for like it's good.
It needs to be on Switch. Like,
Dude, if that game doesn't come to Switch, they're missing.
oh yeah,
Dude,
like
they're gonna sell like 10 million copies on Switch easily if that game comes to Switch. $5 a piece. Like the game's only $5.
It's not
yeah,
bad.
Oh,
and
Courty, you should try it. It's it's a big PC game too. It's also on mobile.
Is it?
hmm
mm,
It's also on Game Pass, but
yeah. And
which is where I'm playing it. But
all you literally do is just move the your character and the lost stick. That's all you really do.
yeah,
It is
it's
Nice.
called an auto. What the acronym spells out ASS, auto shooting survival game is what it's called. So like all you do is move around and you auto attack, right? Like
mm,
so the guy I usually pick is like this guy with a whip, and he'll whip anybody that's around him like I would say like every 2 seconds or every 3 seconds or something. And then as you kill so many guys, a little meter at the top of the screen fills up. And every time that meter fills up, you collect these blue gems. And every time that meter fills up, when you collect these blue gems, you get to add another attack to your arsenal or like a defensive type thing.
yeah,
So like I'll end
Nice.
up with like 2 whips and throwing axes and like this big kind of poison defensive shield around me that like attacks enemies if they get too
holy
close to
water.
me. Holy water, magic wands, a floating Bible that floats around me. Like
That's
it
cool.
Yeah, and all you do is walk around and like try to kill people and try not to die.
Yeah,
It's
That's
so
awesome.
addicting. And
and you
the thing is like it's like an 8-bit game, so it looks like an NES game,
Hmm.
yeah.
but like it's so good.
So your goal is to get to 30 minutes per level. And then death comes in and kills you.
Oh wow.
But that means that you beat the level. You know, dude, I've been hitting like 102
Oh
and
really?
everything. Yeah, like so it gets to a point where you'll get like 6 weapons, 6 defensive, or um uh um other things to help you, like it's like more experience points, uh more survival tactics, and you just go around and different enemies will just um get you and stuff. And you on Xbox, you with the achievement system, you just unlock stuff and everything. And of course it's going to feel like you're not powerful enough, but it has a shop, so the coins that you are rewarded for treasure chests that you find and everything, you go in and buy stuff, and it helps you survive a little bit longer. And the more you do that, the more you'll be able to be stable to get to that 30 minutes. And then you also add more characters to it, because there's a character that throws out black magic cats and
That's
everything.
awesome.
So
Yeah.
uh, it's kind of a play on Castlevania, uh, but it's really good. You can spend a good like 15 to 20 minutes just playing it or even
Yeah.
like an hour or something, trying to unlock stuff. But it really is fun and everything. Um,
Yeah. I'll definitely have to try that. It sounds like fun. And you
it,
guys should too if you haven't yet.
yes. Last but not least, I just installed Detroit Become Humans for our Talk to Walk, so I'm going to be
Yes.
starting that and getting. I'm restarting it because I was like halfway done with it, but I'm restarting it from the beginning and going to go through everything before our discussion because I
When
need
is
like a
that
refresher.
recording, by the way?
It is the 22nd, so this
22nd.
Sunday. Yeah,
You have
because
you got some work to do.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
you have like a whole week.
yeah, I will. I I I had to prepare for uh our our project for ranking Nintendo, which was a really good discussion, um, which I gotta edit and send to you, Corey, for the final touches. Um, we'll talk about it after the show. Well, because I did something naughty and got in trouble, but it wasn't my fault on why the naughtiness happened. So,
Hmm.
um,
Hmm. Hmm.
I
That's
I
arguable.
I I, I hope this person still loves me. Depending on, do I need to go in the bungee store?
Oh my god.
Do I need to go to the bungee store and find out what this thing, what this person need,
Mm.
so that this
No,
person
don't
will.
go on the bungee store. The bungee store takes like 6 months to a year to ship. You should just go
Oh,
on Amazon and get it. It takes 2 days. Uh,
okay.
yeah. I mean, I don't get me started on the bungee store. Don't just
Uh, so
Okay, well, here to distract you, the game I've been playing is Super Mario Run on iOS and like the phones. I didn't even know they had a game like that. So my a friend of mine's brother play it, and I was like, "What is that? That is you're not playing on the Switch." And he's like, "Oh, I'm playing Super Mario on my iPad." I was like, "Ugh, they have that?" So I've been like grinding on that so hard. I love that game so much. I have my own little
nice.
kingdom. I think I have 2 more characters I have to unlock. It's
man.
fun. It's
I
so fun.
forgot about Super Mario Run.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was one of the
the
it
first
was
Nintendo thing.
it was their second app that they released because the
Mm,
first one was Mitomo, which was like their social media network type thing that they tried to do, and then Super Mario Run, like the first level was free, but then you could pay $10 and unlock the whole game, and it was like this
Yeah,
big part of their mobile initiative that like 90% of it is shut down now, except for I think Fire Emblem and
Mario
Animal
Kart.
Crossing, and oh yeah, and Mario Kart.
Oh, it was a big thing,
It was a
Courtney,
huge deal.
because Miyamoto came when Apple was doing their presentation.
Uh huh.
Miyamoto came out to it saying that they're bringing
Yeah.
that game to Apple because it was only on iPhones,
Yeah.
and when that happened, it literally broke the internet because they didn't expect that this company who are big in handheld
Well,
will put some of their games.
we knew
Oh, go ahead.
Nintendo was moving into the mobile space in some capacity, right?
Yeah,
But we didn't know the Mario game was that soon, and the fact that Nintendo, because Nintendo is so proud of themselves, right? They're
yeah.
just a proud company. The fact that they came out at somebody else's conference to put their game on somebody else's platform was like, and not knowing it was that close was such a big deal. I remember talking about that when Pal Block first started, man,
I felt
because it
like I
was,
was sleeping on a rock because I had no idea till like last week about the game.
yeah. I mean, I mean, nobody cares about it now, but I mean, because I think after the Switch was released, nobody cared about any of Nintendo's mobile games, but at that time, Nintendo was not doing very well because the 3DS was underperforming, even though it ended up selling 70 million units. The Wii U obviously underperformed. People were debating on whether or not if the Switch failed, like would Nintendo go third party and be on everybody else's platform? And this was like that step of like maybe they will at some point because they
Yeah.
initially said that they were going to do a three pillar strategy of 3DS, Switch, and mobile.
yeah,
And for the most part, like I would say aside from uh, the 3 games that are left, I would say Nintendo's mobile strategy was not very. It didn't do very well for them.
No.
Because Dragalia Lost was that RPG that they put out, which
Yeah.
supposedly was pretty good, but obviously didn't sell enough microtransactions to keep going because they shut it down. What else? What else did they shut down? Doctor
Well,
Mario they shut
Dr.
down.
Mario.
Mitomo
I
they shut down.
now I think it's just those three because Fire Emblem Heroes
Yeah, Fire
was
Emblem is like a huge moneymaker,
it,
but
it
it
and that
also
was the
became
part.
like a it also became like a Genshin Impact thing where like, oh well, now you get to see a Celica in a summer bikini, and like one of those things, and it was like,
Yeah, and that was the thing with Dragalia Lost that it had its players, but because Fire Emblem Heroes was making them so much money, that was big. Dude.
yeah, Fire Emblem was huge. Like that game was great too.
And
The
I
thing
think it's still going.
it is going, it's still
Okay.
going, but like the thing is that the campaign you could play through the whole campaign without ever spending a dime,
Yeah.
which was cool. But then like it came to a point where uh the DLC that started coming out, and then obviously the card packs, the gotcha card pack thing, and then it just became what it is now, right? But that the first like 6 months of that game being out was like playing a real video game on your phone.
Pretty much, dude. Just shoot, talking about the financial reporting, that thing was making money
Dude,
week
it's
after week.
yeah, I mean it's still Nintendo's highest, most profitable mobile game.
That's that literally is insane.
What was it called? What was the mobile game called? Heroes, right?
Yeah, Fire Emblem Heroes.
Let's see. Uh, income. Uh, yeah, that game made $77 million last year,
That's insane.
and it was released in February of 2017, and last year, its 5th year on the market, made 77.99 million US dollars. So that should tell you everything you need to know about Fire Emblem Heroes.
Right. And if you don't think literally if you don't think that Nintendo took part of that revenue and put it in the bank, they did.
I mean,
Nintendo
all that money at this point is like pure profit, except for what you're paying your artists, right? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. That game was wonderful when I played it. Then it got weird, but it was wonderful.
And I kind of I think with that, they really haven't dived into any mobile games in a long time. Like Pokemon
Hmm.
Go, but that's like the Pokemon company. That's kind of been like the last one, well, besides Mario Kart Live or Mario
Yeah.
Kart Tour, like they haven't did anything because like even Animal Crossing Pocket was supposed to be a big thing, but I think because of the pandemic, Animal Crossing New Horizon just destroyed
Well,
Animal Crossing Pocket in a sense.
remember Pocket Camp was supposed to tie into New Horizons at some point,
Yeah,
and it never did.
Never did.
So
yeah,
I mean, Pocket Camp, whatever. It's just a mobile game. But then obviously when New Horizons came out, that game became the Animal Crossing, and nobody wanted to play anything else. So
yes,
Yeah, it was either that or Among Us.
yeah,
yeah. Well, before we get into family news, everybody, I actually got to show you guys this because I didn't get a chance. This is
is
the
that the Sephiroth
Sephiroth.
amiibo?
Yep, and the Kazuya from Tekken.
Nice.
Nice.
Um, was able to snatch these up at Target Friday. After work. No, I snatched them at Target before I went to work. Friday.
Hmm.
Uh, and was happy that Target actually had them out, and I was able to get them. Um, so yes, I still buy amiibos, and I love when I get amiibos.
I would love.
think that's
I wish Tears of the Kingdom would have new amiibo. That's something else we didn't mention in our pre-show chat, and what they could show off at the direct.
that.
The next direct is new amiibo for Tears of the Kingdom,
I,
which I don't think they're going to.
Hmm.
I think they're just going to say, hey, we're re-releasing these amiibo, and it's going to be the Breath of the Wild ones and the 30th anniversary ones, and they're going to call it a day.
Yeah.
I will put it on the notes because there's got to be one new amiibo. There's got to be a
See,
champion or somebody.
I would love them to release new amiibo for that game, but they're not going to. They're just
Something
not.
that,
I think the amiibo usefulness of amiibo is over. I think they hit that toys to life thing at the right time,
mhm,
and outside of finishing this Smash Brothers line,
yeah,
I think whenever this is done, I think you're going to see amiibo go away.
go away.
Hmm
Because I,
Because I mean, you think of all the games that are out after Breath of the Wild. I mean, I guess we got new Splatoon ones, so maybe we'll see a couple new
yeah,
ones. But like, you look at, I mean, you look at all these games. Like Animal Crossing still uses the Amiibo Festival stuff from the Wii U, right? And
yeah,
like all the Mario stuff that's come out since Odyssey uses the Mario Odyssey and the Super Mario Brothers set, which I would like a full set of the Mario Brothers set, but they're so expensive now. I just don't have the. I would rather buy games and live. Um, and then and that now like the Zelda ones, like Age of Calamity would have been a perfect one also to have new amiibo for, and they just used the Breath of the Wild ones. Like I would have loved to have like a young Impa one, and you know
hmm
it just I think the amiibos are done.
yeah. Well, we'll see if they have
Although
another.
Disney's trying to get back in the Toys of Life thing. Did you see that? Did I show you that
No,
for their the Mirrorverse mobile game? They're
no, I
making
didn't know
they're
that.
making they're making toys for the characters, and every toy comes with a 4 or a 5-star card of that character
Nice.
that you
Is
can
it a
implement a QR code into the Mirrorverse game.
is it just cars or is it the actual
They're
figures?
figures. They're like 6-inch figures,
Ooh,
dude.
I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to look at this.
Man, I gotta tell you, man, the Belle character in that game looks so good. She's like a mage character in that game.
Uh,
She's like her character. I almost said her figure looks so good that could have come out real wrong. But like the toy and like just man, they're doing some good things with that game. I wish it was on console.
I will say this. I am actually guilty. I will buy one, but I only will buy Tigger. Like I
Oh,
want a
he's
Tigger
not
one
in
so
it
bad.
though. So
Ah,
there's like 25 characters in the game right now, but it's like Sorcerer Mickey, Donald, Belle, Baloo from Tailspin, a bunch of Monsters
beautiful
Inc.
test, but I'll get.
A bunch of Monsters Inc. characters, a bunch of villains. Baymax is it? They just released Baymax from Big Hero 6. So there's a lot going on in that game, but it's on mobile, so I won't play it. I
Okay.
refuse.
Well,
Refuse.
everybody,
Refuse.
it's time for Femi News.
Oh
Corey,
yes.
Ooh.
take it away.
Oh yeah, that's my section. So our first story is about Super Nintendo World, the theme park land that is opening in Universal Studios Hollywood in February. It's also coming to Universal Studios Orlando in the next 2 or 3 years. So Super Nintendo World is officially in the technical rehearsals phase as it has entered their soft opening in Universal Studios Hollywood. The theme park land has been highly anticipated by many of video game fans, as will as it will finally bring the Mushroom Kingdom to life with rides, attractions, restaurants, and interactive areas like Mario Kart, Bowser's Challenge, Toadstool Cafe, One Up Factory, and characters like Mario, Luigi, and Princess Peach, and more. Not everything will be open during this period, but it looks like the themed land is on track to open in February 2023. Now, I'm going to get my piece out of the way because I'm sure other people are way more excited for this. I for some reason I couldn't care less about this like at all. As somebody who loves like Disney World and stuff like that, like
Mhm.
this place looks so claustrophobic and so just they crammed everything into this tiny little space that it looks so unappealing to me. And to me, like you look at something like this and then you look at the other stuff at Universal, and it just reminds me of how why Disney is superior to Universal in terms of theming, in terms of layout, in terms of spacing, right? Like
Hmm.
I know a lot of people are going to be really excited for this, and maybe someday I'll go just because I'll probably feel obligated to go whenever I go to Universal at some point. But this just looks it feels really claustrophobic and unappealing to me, and I know that's an unpopular opinion, especially for a Nintendo podcast. But
Just a little.
Well, I haven't seen the pictures of it or anything.
oh, you should go on Nintendo Life. They have a whole bunch.
Um, I am a Six Flags kind of guy because I love roller
Well,
coasters.
it's definitely not Six
Uh,
Flags.
well, true. Um, and I know Corey, me and you had this discussion about like Disney, Universal, Nintendo stuff. When it comes to theme parks like that, I'm cool with it. I enjoy it. I would love to go there for the experience, but I'm so much into, as a kid, growing up on roller coasters and seeing that design and getting that feel and that thrill of it, that I think this for me could sit on the back burner so I'm ready to go experience it and
Hmm.
everything, because this is something that I want to experience it with someone, with another person,
Yeah.
where like, oh wait.
The thing to for me though is like this would have been so cool as just its own park. Why did you cram it into this tiny little space in the back of Universal Studios? You know?
True.
And I know the one in Orlando is going to be a little different because they're actually building a third park to incorporate this. But still, like I feel like there's no room for expansion for this thing when you cram it into this tiny little area, right? Like where's
Mm,
the rumored Donkey Kong roller coaster going to go? Where's your Zelda expansion? Where's your Metroid ride? Where's your Kirby stuff? Like it just it just looks like you calling it Super Nintendo World, but all you have is Mario and there's no room for expansion. None from what I can see from the aerial coverage that they've shown, from like schematics and stuff. Like they're going to have to demolish some of the other stuff to make it fit. And maybe they
yeah,
will. I don't know. Like I don't keep up on Universal the way that I keep up on Disney, right? Because
yeah.
I'm people have been listening to the show for a long time. I'm a homer for Disney, right? Like that's no secret. But I don't know. It
I
just really bothers me.
I think I'm fine with, you know, I probably would go on and look at the pictures, but I'm fine with me looking forward to what's coming to Six Flags. What's the new roller coaster? How's the design and everything? How people react? Like I'm fine with doing that,
Uh huh.
and like the Super Nintendo World thing, I'm excited for it, but I could wait till I feel like it's time for me to go. And if I miss it, I just miss it and everything. Courtney, your thoughts?
Ah, I didn't even know that there was a Super Nintendo World. I do know though that they're trying to close one of the parks in Disney. It's one of the river parks. I can't really remember, but they're changing it to Princess and the Frog.
Oh no,
Um,
Splash Mountain, the big water ride in the Magic Kingdom. They're closing it to because it's based on Song of the South, which is
okay. So they're
the
changing that one to the Princess and the Frog. I
uh
just
huh.
remember that they have the theme of it, but they're like, "Oh, we're
Yeah,
still not happy about
this
it." I'm like,
this is actually
"Okay,
the last week it's open.
really?"
Yeah, they're closing it at the end of the week, and um, not that like so I have a fondness for Brer Rabbit and Brer Fox and Brer Bear from that ride,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also one of the people that it's like I'm okay with this change because a like Song of the South has such a negative connotation for obvious reasons,
Yeah,
and uh I really like Princess and the Frog, and my daughter loves Tiana, and
obsessed with it.
like I think the music would be cool. I think that whole theme will be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Plus if you ride plus if you ride that ride now, like half the animatronics are broken. Their mouths don't
Yeah.
move. Like they literally turn off lights in parts of the ride so you can't see the broken animatronics. Like it's time, you
It's a
know.
mess.
It is a mess in multiple ways. It's a fun ride, and I mean the ride track's gonna clearly stay the same, but like
Mm.
man, theming it after Princess and the Frog and having that music and man, I hope Lewis plays the the trumpet through the whole ride. Like I'm excited for that change.
I
I feel
wonder if they're
like
gonna.
once I go into a theme park like Universal or Disney, then I have an opinion, but I've never been to either one of them, so.
I would Universal is more for people that it's clearly aiming for a specific audience group,
Yeah.
right? Like their big things are Jurassic Park and Transformers and uh in terms of Orlando, like Marvel is at Universal because of some contract they signed like 20 years ago before Disney owned Marvel. So Disney can't really use the Avengers or the X-Men in Disney World, but um so it's more like stuff like that for like teenagers and early 20s type audience. Not that they don't have kids stuff there, right? Because they have like
Yeah.
Shrek and stuff, and obviously their big draw is Harry Potter. The Harry Potter land there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Orlando is building a third again. They're building a third park at Universal to incorporate Nintendo Land, but they're also building a third section of the Harry Potter world.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah, and so like that's the big draw for Universal has been Harry Potter for a long time. So, and then Disney is obviously just Disney
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Star Wars.
Oh, that's my goal. I
Surprised
just
they
want to see
haven't
Darth
brought any
Vader.
Marvel stuff there to Disney World yet.
I mean, they have the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, but they can't because of the contract they signed with Marvel signed with Universal.
Uh
Any theme park on the East Coast that's within like I don't know 75 miles or something. It's something really stupid. I encourage people to look it up if you want to laugh at a contract and why Disney World can't use Marvel.
but do Disney get paid for it?
Uh-uh. No.
Even
I mean,
though it's a Marvel's
I'm sure they
like
get some
licensing
sort of.
fee.
I'm sure they get some sort of thing, but that money would have gone to Marvel even if Disney didn't buy Marvel anyway. So it's
Okay.
probably whatever the contract had. Um,
Or before they
but they
bought the
Disney's allowed to use the cosmic part of Marvel. They aren't allowed to use the Avengers or the X-Men. So I don't know
Hmm.
how that divides up. I don't know if there's some like massive Marvel spreadsheet of like which characters fall into which camp, but
mm-hmm.
you know. But Guardians of the Galaxy is at Disney World, and that ride is so cool. Oh, it's this
Is
roller
that the
coaster where the cars spin throughout the whole ride, but like
yeah.
they're like aiming the cars at like what you're supposed to watch through the ride. Oh, it's so cool. So cool.
It, no, the blue milk is Star Wars.
Oh man, blue milk's delicious.
I want to go to Disney World
Me
again.
too.
Uh,
I want to
you
go
know,
for the first time.
Team retreat.
yes.
Woo. What is that?
Hold on, the Nintendo team or the Boss Rush team?
It's just us.
Okay.
Oh, when is that happening? I'm down.
I don't know.
Oh, dang it.
Whenever we get funded and make a lot of money.
Yes.
Yay.
So everybody needs to step it up. Chop chop.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I'm excited. I'll wait to see for the pictures, but yeah, I got my Six Flags that I'm looking forward to. So.
Woo.
Anyways. All right. And moving on to our next story. This story is literally in here only for Ed. The source is quite questionable. The site he sent me is extra questionable. This comes from a random Reddit user. And the site that links to is in all Japanese. So I could not verify because, spoilers, guys, I don't know Japanese. So, with that said, the story's for Ed. Ed wants to talk about this post from a random Reddit user about level 5, so I hope you have your salt ready. In 2020, Level 5, the developer most known for RPGs like Ni no Kuni and Yokai Watch, decided to focus on making games for their Japanese audiences as part of their restructure. This meant all offices in North America were closed and no more games were to be published outside of their native country. Now, a random Reddit user called Dylan XW3, sorry Dylan, seems to have made some sort of discovery, stating that Level 5's website has the following statement, quote, with the recent globalization of the game business, we are looking for people. Recent globalization. Come on, it's been global for about 15 years now. Come on, catch up. We are looking for people to maximize the business scale as a content holder and actively develop Level 5's IP not only in Japan, but on a global scale. End quote. Who knows if this is real or not? I cannot read the site as it is in Japanese, but it would be great to get a proper Ni no Kuni sequel, new Professor Layton entries, or even something like a Rogue Galaxy or Dark Cloud remaster. Man, we were just talking about those games
Nice.
last week. We were just talking about Rogue Galaxy
Yeah.
last week.
Literally that's why I put the story down when I read it. I'm just like, me and Corey just like you said, Corey, we just talked about this because like we want the Professor Layton games back on Switch. What
Yeah,
everybody is waiting to support Level 5 here in America. Of course we didn't get Yokai Watch 4 or anything.
which is
And we
sad
don't
because
know.
I think people kind of like those games. I know it wasn't as big over here, but
Yes. Uh, it was the anime. A lot of people didn't watch, but I think a lot of people didn't know what time and channel that it came on. So it was
yeah,
very weird.
yeah,
But we was waiting for Yokai Watch 4 to hit Switch because it looked really good.
yeah. Well, we
And
were talking about it. We were talking about it coming over here, and then they just said, "Nah, it's not coming." Just kidding.
yeah,
Because the other ones were on 3DS, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. A lot of the Level 5 stuff that was on Nintendo was on 3DS and DS.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ni no
with
Kuni, by the way,
oh, such a great game.
if you haven't played Ni no Kuni, it's on sale all the time on Switch. It's like $10. Like,
Oh.
if you want a heartfelt JRPG that kind of has a Pokemon mechanic, like, oh man, Ni no Kuni 1. Ni no Kuni
And,
2, meh. Ni no Kuni 1, though, Wrath of the White Witch, oh, so good.
definitely if you
Bring
love
your
Studio
tissues, everybody.
Ghibli,
Yeah, Studio
like
Ghibli did the art. So,
that's why when I knew that when I found out Level 5 was directed, I'm like, oh cool. When I heard Studio Ghibli was involved, I'm like, oh, I gotta
mhm,
have this day one, like
yeah.
no joke. And then because
Also, everybody
everybody
get ready to fall in love with Drippy. I don't know what his real
yes,
name was. That's his name, right? Drippy,
Drippy,
the
yeah,
like your first little companion with the little drippy nose.
yes.
Yeah,
People double dipped on it when it came to Switch.
yeah.
And people who didn't
I
buy it
played
on
it on Switch. I
PlayStation.
didn't play it on PlayStation 3. I played the Switch version.
Yeah, everybody we bought that game or probably bought that game on Switch because that's when part one got announced and then part two came out. People bought two on Switch. So it really showcased that people really miss Level 5 and everything. And of course we got that mystery the professor with that one Professor Layton game um with his daughter on Switch and that was like the last one.
Uh huh.
Um
Yeah,
and so
Cottrell, the Leighton Legacy, something.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so, if this is true and they bring their stuff back to the West, definitely with Nintendo fans, they're going to support this. If they do what they did with the Phoenix Wright game, like they packaged the first three games on a collection, and they also brought the Japanese games that never came to America, people are going to buy it. They have like what 6 games for the Professor Layton, and they got the Capcom one, which I gotta
Uh
see
huh.
how that will find. If even if they just did a 6 game collection and
Well, they could
charged
do what they
$50
could
for
do.
it,
They could do a DS collection, and they could do a 3DS collection.
yeah,
I mean, you could literally. It's that simple, right? Because I think the first 4 games were on DS, and the second two or the last 2 games were on 3DS, and they were much longer games. So
Hmm.
yeah,
I don't see a, you know, man. Professor Layton was so good. If
really
anybody
good.
has a 3DS plugged in at your house, please play Professor Layton. Man, Miracle Mask was good.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the what was the was it the mystery box that the gosh, I forget all the names of them. They were so good though. Miracle Mask, I think, is my favorite one.
Yeah, I mean, great animation, great voice acting. Like people would definitely play this. Like in a Rogue, not yeah, Rogue Galaxy. Oh, that's such a great game that people would play. In a Dark Cloud, people
Mm-hmm.
would people would Sony. This is your chance to literally get a Dark Cloud 3 on PS5.
Yeah,
Like
I wouldn't be surprised if they try to do that. Man, Dark Cloud, that first Dark Cloud game, Dark Cloud 2 also was very good, but
was good. But Dark Cloud is one of the PlayStation 2 games that people would recommend that
mhm,
that's a game that should be in your library because people
yeah,
were not playing. It was just like it's that good. It's that level of
mhm,
goodness.
yeah.
So
So
I really do hope this is true because number five, we are ready to give you them coins. If you feel like we didn't give you those coins back in the day, trust me, we got people who are ready to give those coins. Because people who miss it on the 3DS, and if they can play it on Switch, it's the best. It's the best way to play them on the go and at home. Definitely
yeah,
with family and with kids. Like their logic puzzles will make you think and stuff, but it's also the story and the mystery itself. And people love Professor Layton. Like, there's a lot of cosplay people dressing like him. So I would love for this to happen. Come
man.
on, level five. Come back to
Yeah.
America.
We're
Professor
adults now with adult money. We will be spending that money.
mhm,
Oh yes. Yes, yes, yes.
man, Professor Layton's so good.
Now I want
So,
to play that game so much.
all right. So, our next story. So I'm going to read the little blurb I wrote here. I added a second link. So, I originally was reading through Forbes article about this whole Ubisoft thing.
Mhm.
Um, it's a little bit the Forbes article is a little bit more in depth, but I think the Game Informer article is a little bit easier to follow. So I'll just read my little excerpt here, and then I'm gonna just read the Game Informer article because it is way easier to. Um, I think it's easier to follow in my just because Forbes has so many freaking ads and pop ups, and it's just like get out of my way. So um, here we go. Ubisoft seems to be in some sort of trouble, as many sources have predicted. Uh, in a recent article from Paul Tassi, the video games and entertainment beat writer for Forbes, among many others, Ubisoft has stated that uh, Mario plus Rabbids has underperformed. They delayed the shipwreck that is known as Skull and Bones yet again. Man, I love that pun. I'm so glad I came up with it. Um, and has totally canceled 3 unannounced projects. This brings the total number of canceled games up to 7 in the last 12 months because they did this last year. They announced that they canceled 4 unannounced games. Uh, so yeah, Ubisoft is in some sort of trouble. Not uh, not doing great. So from here, sorry, hold on, I got a cough.
Ooh, he is suffering.
It's fine. I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
feeling better. Uh, so I'm going to read Game Informer's article from Wesley LeBlanc. I also encourage you to read the Forbes article if you want something a little bit more in depth. But I'm going to read the Game Informer article from Wesley LeBlanc. It says Ubisoft has canceled 3 unannounced games, and the company has revealed in their latest financial update has also delayed Skull and Bones, which has already been delayed 7 times in the past. It says several, but my count is 7. The company cites, quote, major challenges as the industry continues to shift towards mega brands and long lasting titles that can reach players across the globe, across platforms and business models, end quote. It says that over the last 4 years, its strategy has been about building, quote, long lasting live games and adapting our strongest franchises, end quote. Like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Tom Clancy games like Ghost Recon, Rainbow Six, and The Division, quote, to converge trends to make them truly global brands. See, so before I move on to the next section, Assassin's Creed is huge. The Division is huge, and Ghost Recon is huge. So I don't understand why, like, how these games are underperforming or not doing well, because I know Ghost Recon Wildlands sold like 30 million units or something ridiculous like
Mm.
that. The last two Assassin's Creed games are both of them consecutively were the highest selling Assassin's Creed games. Um, and I know Ghost Recon Breakpoint had that when it launched, it sold something like 10 million units, but then they like had to redevelop some of the game because they tried to turn it into an RPG, which wasn't what people wanted from that. Um, and then I guess like I don't know, like the Division 2 sold well, but Ed, remember when we were playing it and we were kind of like, man, or at least I was like, man, I really liked the Division 1. I could really go for some more Division. And then I played like 15 hours of the Division 2 and I was like, I guess I really didn't need more Division because it was essentially the same game in a new city.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I guess maybe I wasn't the only one that felt like that, um, which is nuts because I actually really like the Division. And I really like Assassin's Creed. I know it's unpopular, but I in the gaming sphere, but I actually really like Assassin's Creed. I think Assassin's Creed Odyssey is like one of the it's a top 10 game of all time for me. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's
I
that
see.
good.
Really?
So, all right, I'll get to the next section now. However, the games from this investment phase have yet to be released, while our recent launches have not performed as well as expected. Uh, Compounding this effect in the context of worsening macroeconomic conditions, the trends over the holiday season, in particular the last weeks of December and the beginning of January, have been markedly and surprisingly lower than expected. That word does not look real. It looked like I think it's supposed to be marketedly. Anyways, uh, this overall context has triggered a full review of our revenue prospects, leading to increased cautiousness over the coming years. Considering this, combined with the significant additional investments that resulted from lockdown and new working patterns that have profound impact on productions across the industry over the last 3 years, Ubisoft is announcing today a set of measures dedicated to strengthening its long-term growth and value creation prospects. Uh, so yeah, I mean, Ubisoft is kind of trending in the wrong direction here. There's a couple more paragraphs here, so I'll just run through those real quick and then we'll get into it because I have a lot of thoughts. I wasn't going to add it here because there not a lot of Ubisoft games end up coming to Switch right now,
Yeah.
except for I mean Mario and Rabbids and then some old Assassin's Creed games, obviously, but nothing like really new. But I think it's important because Ubisoft has always been one of Nintendo's strongest partners, especially right out of the gate when a new console comes out. Um, so let's see, where did I leave off? It's in those measures that Ubisoft reveals it has canceled, quote, 3 unannounced projects on top of 4 already announced projects in July 2022, referring to the cancellation of Ghost Recon Frontline, which was the Battle Royale, the Ghost Recon Battle Royale, Splinter Cell VR, and 2 more unannounced titles last year. Ubisoft then reveals that Skull and Bones has been delayed a 5th time, although our count is 7. Uh, Although it technically never received release dates the first 2 times, it still got delayed out of the years.
Right.
Um, it was now to be released, and it is now to be released by early 2023 or 2024. However, players will be able to play it soon. It sounds like in the game's upcoming beta phase. As for Skull and Bones has been delayed again, Ubisoft says the game needs more polish. Quote, the additional time has already paid off and brought impressive improvements to its quality, which has been confirmed by recent playtests. We believe players will be positively surprised by its evolution. We have decided to postpone its release in order to have time to showcase a much more polished and balanced experience to build awareness. Um, Elsewhere in the financial update, Ubisoft notes that it has decreased its Q3 2022-2023 net bookings target from $892 million to about $779 million. The company again cites, quote, the more challenging environment, end quote, noting that big 2022 releases like Mario Plus Rabbids and Just Dance 2023 performed lower than expected. So there's a lot to unpack here. Ubisoft is going to go through a massive restructure in the next couple years. What I was telling Ed before we started recording, Courty, Ubisoft has 45 studios and employs over 20,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sony's PlayStation division, their entire first party outside of Bungie, employs less than 7,000 people.
Oh wow.
Why you would need 20,000 people across 45 studios across the world, I'm not sure. I know a lot of that is like a lot of those studios are small asset houses that create assets for the bigger games, and then the bigger studios obviously make the games, right? But which
Right.
is which is kind of like, I think that's probably smarter than to outsource stuff to other studios in some capacity. But man, I feel like at least 2/3 of these people are about to lose their jobs.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if it's that many and they're not really, you know, doing
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Um, Mario plus Rabbids and Just Dance underperforming is kind of surprising. Although Just Dance 2023 did incorporate a subscription model to the music this year instead of a DLC model, which they had done in previous years. So I think a lot of people were kind of turned off by that. And then Mario plus Rabbids, I'm kind of shocked that it underperformed, but then again, I'm not, because remember how fast the first game was $20 on Amazon and you could buy a physical copy for $20? It
Yeah.
was
Oh
like
yeah.
before Christmas, that game was like 20 or $30. Half price, which is all Ubisoft games.
Right.
Those games
And
those games drop less than $70 3 weeks after they come out.
come out. And I think you also had like Bayonetta, you had God of War, you had a lot of big names happening between October and November. So it's not like people weren't expected to get Mario Rapids real fast. I think it was just a time that people really were deciding, definitely with the holiday shopping and everything, that people were just making certain choices when they're going to pick these games up
Mm-hmm.
and everything. Um,
Right. Well, I mean, that's why I didn't get the physical copy of Mario Rabbids right away, is because I was like, well, in the spring it'll be like $20. You know,
right.
I bought it digitally because I wanted to play it and I needed to play it for our game of the year discussion, right? But like, I don't. I probably wouldn't have bought it right away, even though I love that first one. I just know I've played enough Ubisoft games and bought enough Ubisoft games to know that that game will be $20 in 6 months.
I I I wanna the thing I would add to this story is that Prince of Persia being delayed.
Mm.
I have a feeling that that game is in trouble or it got
No,
canceled or
they
something.
they restarted at Ubisoft Montreal, the same studio that's doing the Splinter
Hmm.
Cell remake. So that's where
So
you're
do
going to see
you
that.
do you think those two projects are still live and
Hmm.
not canceled?
Yeah, because they would have said that, right? Because they said unannounced games, um,
Yeah.
which I think one. I think so. You look at the games Ubisoft has in development now. They have Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, which is the game being developed by Massive, which is the Division studio. You have the Division Homeland, which is being developed by Red Storm, which is the free to play Division game, which could be a huge hit for them. I think you make the Division free to play and have seasons and season passes and stuff. I think that could
Hmm.
be huge for them. Um, you have the Splinter Cell remake at Montreal. You have Prince of Persia remake at Montreal. You have Skull and Bones, which the only reason why that game hasn't been canceled, I know a lot of people are wondering why that game has never been canceled. It hasn't been canceled is because it's being developed at Ubisoft Singapore, and the Singapore government is involved with that studio, and has kind of funded that game,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to release it under the law of Singapore, or they will
Oh
get
wow.
heavily fined, heavily taxed, and I think something in the rules was like they have to create a new IP with this studio in order for Singapore to fund the studio, and that's what they've done, and that's why
It
Skull and
hasn't been.
Bones has not come out yet, and that's why it hasn't been canceled.
Uh, I think the question is where's Beyond Good and Evil?
I
Because
mean,
that's also been announced,
that's
and
also still in development, quote unquote, whatever. And then you have the Mario plus Rabbids DLC that's supposed to come out, and 3 Assassin's Creed games. That's what's in development. Oh,
Hmm.
and X Defiant, which is their kind of weird Tom Clancy, not Tom Clancy, battle royale.
mm-hmm.
And then there's a rumor that there's a new Ghost Recon game in development, but that might have been one of the games that got canceled. So,
For I think For Honor 2 was probably canceled. I guess I
I
don't know
mean,
how well the first one did, but that that would be something
I mean,
that I think Ubisoft would have looked into.
I don't think the first one sold like extremely well, but I know that game has a very dedicated fan base. So,
What about
Far Cry 7
yeah,
also might be a game that's in development. That game is on a 2-year cycle, 3-year cycle, I think.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
because I don't think Far Cry 6 did well.
it did do well. It sold like 15 million units.
15, okay. Um,
Yeah. I'm gonna look that up so I don't have any misinformation. But I know Far Cry 6 did extremely well.
I know I ended up buying it. I just gotta pop it in, restart it, and play it and everything. Um, I think definitely with Mario and Rabbits, like I said, of course it's like it's on Switch, but like it just had a lot of other games come out, a lot of indies and stuff coming out. So everybody was kind of the big thing about it is like people were skipping games in October and getting ready for God of War in
Hmm.
November. Like that was the game. Outside of Pokemon and Sonic Frontiers. Like that was the game that people were waiting for. Um
Yeah.
and after October. So people were just like, I'll skip Mario Rabbids because people were going through the God of War games, trying to get prepared for God of War. That's why I kind of feel like, look, Bayonetta 3 didn't sell that much, but
Hmm.
it's so good for that series being on the Switch. Um Near Automata, I don't know how those numbers did, just for Switch alone. Um but that was another big game in October. Like there was and some indie stuff. Like there was just content out there.
Yeah, but
So
Platinum and
missing.
Square aren't employing 20,000 people.
But
You know,
but yes, but
Platinum
yes,
probably employs like 300 people max, right?
but yeah, that is true. But I'm just saying that those games that don't have those same big numbers, like a 5 million or 15 million kind of number, uh, like Ubisoft could do when they're doing multi-platform games. Mario and Rabbids shouldn't be like, well, under the perform or anything. I'm just like, this is a game that's on one console. You wouldn't say that if it was on multiple consoles and everything. If something was on multiple consoles and it sold 3 million, I don't think you would say as much or anything about it. You know, so uh I wouldn't blame Mario. I guess it's just me. I wouldn't say that Mario Rabbids is part of the blame or anything because this is expectations, not that
No,
this
I
what you
I know.
guys.
I
Okay,
still think Mario Rabbit sold pretty well, right? But
yeah,
I don't know, man. I knew it wasn't going to sell because like, don't get me wrong, a lot of people were excited for a sequel, but I think a lot of quote unquote hardcore gamers or people who play a lot of Ubisoft games know how quickly that game's going to go on sale. It's on
hmm
Yeah.
sale right now. It's $40 digitally, right? Like,
that happened with that Kid Icarus looking guy that Ubisoft did.
Oh,
Uh,
Immortals. Yeah, that game was
Immortals.
$20 after like
It hit
what?
30. It hit $30 in December before Christmas on
Yeah,
all platforms. That's crazy.
yeah. So, you know, it's I don't know. I can't find the sales numbers for Far Cry 6. I know it did well. I can't find it. So, if you guys think it's that important to see, you guys can look it up. But yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, man, there's going to be a massive restructure. Also, there's a rumor that the Guillemot family is going to sell the company, right? Which it's been rumored for a while, but I think it's closer and closer that they're going to sell and get out.
Yeah.
They're I know that Ubisoft is a publicly traded company, but like that company's been family run since the beginning,
Mm.
and I think they're going to want to get out. I think Tencent though is a front runner to buy them, and I don't necessarily think that's going to be a good idea. But
And this would be the see, and this would be crazy. So let's just say it's Sony pony up the money. This is just a hypothetical, everybody.
yeah,
If Sony pwned up the money to buy Ubisoft, I bet you Microsoft is not going to go on them as hard as Sony is going on them with Activision.
yeah.
Oh
And
no.
that's going to cause a big major problem
Tell you
because
what
then
though, if I was Microsoft, I'd rather have the Ubisoft library of games than the
then
Activision Blizzard
Activision.
library,
But but
just
it's
me
just
though.
like with all those games and all the studios, Microsoft would not pull the mess that Sony will pull off
Yeah,
if that was to happen. And if they did, it's going to be a bigger discussion of okay, who's petty. And we us as Nintendo, we're just going to be like, where's Zelda coming out? I need a strategy guide.
yeah,
I need to see the amiibos.
Right.
Where's the
right.
direct?
That's all that
Like,
matters. Is where's Zelda?
Yeah, Zelda's all that matters. Also, like I'm kind of interested in Skull and Bones. I'm not like crazy about the way it looks or whatever, but like a pirate game that's kind of like the Division and Destiny kind of like tickles my fancy a little bit. I hope it turns out okay, but I mean, I'm not spending like $70 on it or anything. But you
Yeah.
know, I'll just wait 3 weeks and it'll be $20 and I'll buy it. That's all the news we have though, everybody. I hope Ubisoft figures it out because out of like the quote unquote big third party publishers, I actually really like a lot of Ubisoft games. I think they've done a lot of great work over the last, you know, 2 decades or so. Right, Prince of Persia is an amazing game. Uh, Assassin's Creed is one of my favorite franchises. The Division was fun. I really liked Ghost Recon, Future Soldier, which was the one before Wildlands.
mhm.
You know, I really like Ubisoft. I think you know, I actually kind of like some of the Far Cry stuff. So, um, just yeah, I hope Ubisoft finds a way to pull through this. And you know, not that I want anybody to lose their jobs. I think that's terrible. But like, if you're employing 20,000 people, like you gotta like restructure that. You know. So
Right.
we'll see. I know most of the studios in Canada and North America and Europe are probably safe. It's the exterior ones um, that will probably be mostly shut down. I mean, even if they cut that head count in half, that'd save them so much money,
Yeah.
you know. But you know, I hope everybody that ends up. I mean, people are going to lose their jobs, but I hope everybody that does lose their job finds, you know, we have a visitor. Uh, finds their footing and finds something new. So
Yes. Well, everybody, it's time for Pack Watch. We got some hot game releases to come for Switch. Um Courtney, can you read Patch Watch this week?
Heck yeah, I can. Give me 1 second.
yes, because my voice hurts
Yeah,
really
y'all look
bad.
like y'all are suffering, so
My body hurts.
that's not good. Let's see. Pack Watch. January 19th. Persona 3 portable experience the iconic, critically acclaimed RPG that reinvented the Persona series. Persona 3 Portable. Now newly remastered and remodeled platform shortly after transferring to,
Gekukan.
thank you, high school. The Prodigious encounters the dark hour, unfamiliar stillnesses swallowing the city. People turn into eerie coffins. Ooh. And otherworldly monsters called shadow swarms. When they are attacked by one of these shadows, and all hope seems lost. The power of the heart, their persona, is awakened with the newly found power. They pursue the truth of the dark hour and face the destiny that awaits them.
Yeah,
Wah,
face
wah,
the destiny.
wah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Fancy.
yeah.
There's also another one that's coming out on June
Okay,
19th,
keep going.
January
Okay,
19th.
keep
Yep.
going. All right, so Persona 4 Golden, the world renowned Persona 4 Golden promises unforgettable, unforgettable adventures, meaningful bonds, and heartwarming experiences shared together with friends. Aww. They say your soulmate will appear if you stare into the television on a rainy night. The strange rumor slowly spreads through the rural town of Inaba.
Inaba.
Inaba, thank you. The
Protagonist.
protagonist's new home, just as a chain of mysterious murders begin. As the protagonist and his
Mhm.
teammates chase after the truth, they find themselves opening world doors to another world.
And we got one major game
I know, I'm excited
for
about
this
this one.
weekend.
Oh
So
my
on the
gosh, I'm so excited.
20th, it is Fire Emblem engaged in a war against the Fell Dragon.
Dragon. Yes.
Four kingdoms work together with heroes from the worlds to seal away this great evil. 1,000 years later, this seal has weakened, and the fell dragon is about to reawaken as a divine dragon uses rich strategies and robust customizations to meet your destiny, to collect emerald rings and bring peace back to the content of Eloise, summons valiant heroes. Okay, like Marth and Celica. With the power of the Fire Emblem rings and add their power to yours in this brand new Fire Emblem story. Aside from the emerging appearances, engaging lets you inherit weapon skills and more from these battles tested legends. The turn based tactical battle system returns with a fresh cast of characters you can customize and engage carefully, crafting your strategies.
I'm buying all
Ooh.
three.
I'm more into the Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
yes.
Also, I think it's worth noting that Persona 3 and Persona 4 Golden are $20 a piece. So I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. Persona 4 Golden is often considered one of the best JRPGs of all time. And now that they're $20 on Switch, I will probably be playing one of them. Although Fire Emblem comes first for me.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
And to Martin Drew at Radon Bugling, he asked a question for who is the best engaged character and why is it Samira? We're not
no.
gonna answer it. We're not gonna answer it this week. We're gonna answer it next week because I'm gonna try to get Grayson uh, on the show and have this discussion. We're gonna give it time to play Fire Emblem Engage and find out who is the best character.
No. The correct answer is Lucina. I will also
Court.
accept Celica,
Marth.
and I will also accept Byleth. So
We We are
Nope.
going to wait.
Those are
We
all
are
acceptable answers.
we are going to wait. Hold your answers, Corey. We're going to wait till the game comes out and play them because we might find some new people that we fall in love with. So
No.
we're going to hold on to that question until we all have played it or got familiar with the game, and then we will answer that question.
I'm telling you, this game, it went from like I'm very skeptical about this game to it's gonna it to, this game's gonna be, what do the kids say? They say lit AF. Yep.
Yes. So,
I'm gonna be
uh,
flossing all the way down the driveway
Oh my
to
god.
my car to go get it.
See it. So make sure you pre-order it before it comes released, so you get all the extra cool stuff when you pre-order it.
Yeah,
please make sure.
I didn't get the expensive edition. I wanted to, but
I can't find it nowhere. I couldn't order it nowhere.
yeah. Well, Nintendo's supposed to be having a new batch the day it comes out, so. But
Yeah,
I'm
we'll see.
not gonna get it. I'm done with collector's editions. They're just too expensive, and the stuff that they come with is too crappy. And I can get third party stuff that's way cooler than stuff like this. So, anyways,
Well, Corey, we have Game Fact Advance.
we do. Yeah. So this week's game fact advance. It's short and sweet, but very important to the hobby we all love. On January 15th, 1968, German American engineer Ralph Baer, known to many as the godfather of video games, began his road to that title by applying for a patent for his invention of the, quote, television video game system. He went on to create what became the Magnavox Odyssey, and the rest is, well, history. We'll owe a lot to this man for creating the hobby that we all love today.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, Ralph Baer, rest in peace. He passed away, what, 5 years ago, 6 years ago at this point?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So,
Uh, uh, uh,
but yeah,
yeah, and also everybody, it has been 6 years since the first trailer of Breath of the Wild came out. So,
that's not important.
Dang.
Oh gosh, no, he died 9 years ago.
oh,
December 6th, 2014.
oh,
Time,
My
time,
birthday?
man, time does not
Ooh,
work the way it needs to.
it doesn't.
exactly. Well, everybody, we have question block, and our first question goes to Image. Well, it comes from, I should say, Image Norris via Discord. Having hit Pokemon 1000, are they starting to run out of creative ideas?
Yes.
Yes, because they made a sack
honestly,
of trash and an ice cream cone and a chandelier.
They have
I
lost
think
hope.
I think no. I think they still got time to make 100+ new
Oh
Pokemon
gosh, that's so gross.
and designs. Garbodor is like, to me, Garbodor is the representation of awards for games that are
Didn't they make a
questionable.
Pokemon that is so ugly that he wears a sack of the Pokemon that he wants to be?
Yes.
The Pikachu, yeah. Oh no, is it Pikachu?
I mean,
It's a Pikachu version of him, yeah.
the
Yeah,
main version that they show, he's a Pikachu, but I thought he could wear other masks as well. Maybe
he
not.
probably
I don't know.
can.
Anyways,
So, any Courtney, any thoughts on this question?
Yeah, no, I know that they've given up.
maybe they
They
should
have.
stop creating new monsters and create a game that works.
Or they just
This is
evolve the other animals they have. Give
I
them a
know that
force.
I know that artists are different from engineers, and I know that joke was not necessary, but it was necessary. Fix your game.
some of the Fire Emblem character designers made some of the new Pokemon.
I know, I saw that.
So, well, our next question comes from Seamus the Kilter Gamer via Discord. How much of the sky and underground will we actually be able to explore in Tears of the Kingdom?
All of it.
Cordy?
I'm gonna go through it beginning to end, like just straight shot it, so I at least know the story, and then I'll go back and do all the extra unlocks and all the other fun stuff.
I feel like we're going to be covering a lot of the sky. and like I think the undergrounds are going to be like kind of the new shrines in a
Mm.
sense. I really think that this game is going to be close to 300 hours to do everything.
Well, I've spent
Oh yeah.
240 in Breath of the Wild, so
So it'll be 6.
yeah. I man, I'm so excited for this game. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do outside of this game for like 3 months. I seriously don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to cancel shows. I'm gonna have to cancel life. I'm gonna have to apply for unemployment. I don't know.
I could see
All I
it.
guess all I know is we must do a direct recap when we play this game.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean,
I mean
look,
when we see it, I should say.
I think I think this game is going to be incredibly important. Um, not only for the future, not only for the Switch, but like for the future of Zelda, right? Like I know a
Hmm.
lot of people really love Breath of the Wild, but like I think a lot of the uh exciting things about Breath of the Wild is we didn't know what to expect, right?
Yeah.
And now we kind of know what to expect, even though we don't know a lot about Tears of the Kingdom. I was talking to Stephanie about this a little bit, actually. Uh, like we don't we know what to expect from a gameplay perspective, right? Like the exploration and
Yes.
uh, obviously all the mechanics and stuff. Yeah, there's a few new powers that we get, but like the only thing we really don't know is the world we're exploring, you know. So is that going
Hmm.
to take some of the magic away? Is that going to I mean, for me, probably not. I think that this direction for Zelda is the best direction they could have gone. Uh, but it does worry me about, like, do we get traditional Zelda temples back? Like, is the sky stuff is it gonna be more linear because of the sky stuff or the underground stuff? How does time travel play a role in this? There's a lot of different aspects that we don't know that could alter the way we explore the world too. So, um, my opinion is I think the sky stuff is gonna actually be kind of a smaller area. You know, I think when you look at the sky stuff, it's not going to be like, oh, well, the sky is like just like it. If you think of it as like a building, right, where like Hyrule is like the first floor, the underground is the basement, and the top is just like the top floor of a building, right? I don't think it's going to be like that.
Yeah.
I think the sky stuff's going to be limited. I think it's just going to be about as big as an area that you would explore in Breath of the Wild proper, right? Where like, oh well, I'm gonna go to the Zora domain, and I think maybe the sky stuff will be about like an area you're gonna go explore.
Hmm.
It'll
Right.
have its own shrines, it'll have its own temple or dungeon or whatever. You can explore there and probably get cool stuff like armor and weapons and stuff from there. But like, I actually think the sky stuff might be pretty limited, to be honest.
Well, we'll see. We
I mean,
got 4
I think you're going to be able to go there at any point, right? Like, and just keep going there. But in terms of like what you do there, like I think it's actually going to be kind of limited.
Yeah, we got 4 months to get there.
I
Well,
know.
3 months in a sense.
I know.
Um, Shay via Discord asks, "What creative new ways could Nintendo be using the Zelda amiibo for in the Zelda amiibo in Tears of the Kingdom?"
I don't think they are. I think it's going to work exactly like the Breath of the Wild. I think, although if you can't use Wolf Link in this game, already worse than Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Wolf Link was awesome. Have just scanning it in and having a companion to run around with for a while,
Mhm.
so good. Although I do think there's going to be crafting in this game. I think you're going to be able to craft weapons to be stronger. I think all the weapons are still going to be breakable, unfortunately, but I think you're going to be able to craft stuff because they played around with it with the fairies, right? Um,
Yeah.
and I think they're going to add crafting materials for this. Um, so yeah,
Um, I really don't know. I don't know what creative new ways that Nintendo could, even though they delayed it to now. I don't know if Numa of them were thinking of the amiibo functionality. So at this point in time, Shane, I cannot give you a definitive answer. I would just say I will wait to see a new Nintendo Direct if they do a breakdown of it. And the only thing I can say is just like gotta see what they do, what happens in the sky. Maybe there are some amiibo that's catered to the sky. I don't know.
I
So
think what would be really cool is if, so like, all the other amiibos besides just Link, they have like the Animal Crossing ones, um, Mario's, like just all of them. It would be funny to do like an unlock mode to where you
uh
could play as those characters in Zelda.
My
I
my dream was to actually play as Zelda and actually like you could swap between Link and Zelda and have different powers that did different
Yeah,
things and like kind of like a adult Link, child Link kind of thing from Ocarina, where like Zelda would have these special powers that unlock certain puzzles and you would have to use her in specific situations. And, maybe like 80% of the game you could play as either one and be just fine, but like some of the puzzles you would have to use Zelda to use her powers and then Link to use his powers, and I think that would have been a really cool thing. And like Zelda just follows you. Oh my gosh, if
yeah.
Zelda could just like follow you and use her powers, and then you could scan Wolflink amiibo in, and they just followed you. Oh my gosh,
That'd
I'd
be
be so
cool.
I'd be so excited. Anyways,
well,
I can't get too excited though because that's not happening.
No.
We're just
So
gonna play as
we're
Link.
already crushing our souls.
I know. We're just gonna play as Link. We're gonna play as creepy arm Link. We're gonna play as long haired Point Break Link, and then you know
long hair point blank. I can't with you, Corey.
Point Break. You know Point Break, the movie
Yes,
Point
I
Break with
know.
Keanu Reeves.
Yes, yes, that's
Yeah,
I can with you.
you
I
know,
am an FBI agent.
just saying. If you haven't seen Point Break, they remade
Ah,
it. Don't watch the remake. Watch the original.
the remake was fine. Wasn't bad.
Yeah,
It's
I
it
mean,
was
yeah,
a
but
good good
it's not the
popcorn movie.
original. You know.
I haven't seen the original.
Oh man, you should watch the original.
I haven't watched either, so.
All right. Well, we have a question from David Wayne via Discord. Is the Switch the best RPG machine in gaming history? From indies to ports and everything in between, I can't think of a larger pool to choose from, and their quality too.
Hmm.
The PC.
Nope. I don't know. I
So
think. Go ahead, Ed. You're probably
the
more equipped
question
to answer this than I am.
the question would have been, is PS2 or Switch
Hmm.
Oh.
I
the
would have argued PS. I
definitive?
would have said PS1 over PS2.
I would say Switch.
Hmm.
I think, and I think it's because you have RPGs from Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the Sega Genesis. Um, you got indies. You have, you got like Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings
Hmm.
on there.
Overrated.
Uh, you got Collection of Mana on there, Trials of Mana. Even though you got like the 2D sprite games, Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3. You got the Final Fantasy games. Even though the Pixel remasters is coming to everything else and stuff, you know, we got so many people saying, I would love to see this game in this HD master. You got Live Alive, a game that never came out to America,
Hmm.
on Switch. So I kind of think, of course, you got Skyrim, but even though you don't have a lot of the West RPGs, you have a lot of the JRPGs coming out on Switch, and they're hitting various communities. They're getting people get into it. You got the farm community, who wants to get into it. The sim community. Um, you got indies who are, I would say, like that's expired by like a Bug's Tale. I think that's the name of it. That's has that Paper Mario inspiration and everything. You got so many different JRPGs and traditional RPGs and action and simulated ones that I feel like Switch has hit so many different areas. Like, look, we all happy with that Sea of Stars is coming to
Yeah.
Switch. Like, we got Chain Echoes that dropped. and everything. We wanted the pixel remaster of Final Fantasy, and the depression that people fell through and upset when that game only got announced for iOS and Android
Yeah, well, I
and
mean,
PC.
it's for the pixel remasters though. I mean, assuming that every console is going to be backwards compatible for the rest of
Mhm.
time, right? Because if it's not, then you really messed up your next console. Uh, they really only have one chance at marketing these things. They only have one more chance, right? And
Yes.
so you got to space it out to hit all of your marketing beats. I think because I think at some point there will be one more marketing beat where these games all come out on Xbox at some point. And that'll literally be the last time they can ever market these games unless they come out with some extreme anniversary collector's edition, right? So,
hmm And and then you got, yeah, you got Fire Emblem, Monster Hunter, and stuff. Like you got so many RPGs that's designed on Switch from different companies. I feel like Switch is just hidden with goodness of JRPGs and just RPGs in general
mhm.
over the PS2. Like
Well,
I love my PlayStation 2,
I wouldn't
but go
I
ahead.
would say the PS2 is one of not anywhere close to one of the best JRPG machines.
Well, at the time
I
when
would have said Super Nintendo and PS1 before I said PS2.
well, I think PS2 had because of like Final Fantasy 10 and
Right,
12
but
and
I
Dragon Quest
think
8.
traditionally people think that 7, 8, and 9 are better than 10 and
Mm-hmm.
12. I think people traditionally think 4 and 6 are better than 10 and 12, right? And plus Super Nintendo has Chrono Trigger and Mana and all of those classic Square games, right? Like
Yeah.
and
I,
PS1 has like all the Enix games like Valkyrie Profile and uh what Dragon what Warrior at the time 7 and so
yes.
I just that's my thought. I mean, yeah, the Switch. I think the Switch out of sheer variety that it offers now. Yeah, clearly, I think it's the best because it offers all those classic experiences updated, and they're just available to you now, right? Plus, you get all the new
hmm
stuff and remastered stuff and whatever. But if you're going just straight up new games, I don't think the Switch is better than the PS1 or the Super Nintendo. I don't think Octopath Traveler is better than Chrono Trigger or something like that, right? Which I know David really loves Octopath Traveler. Um, I know a couple months ago, maybe over the summer, he wrote in and said that it was his favorite game on the Switch, which was like, did you play Zelda? Uh, sorry, David. No, we love you. I was just messing with you, but he really loves that game, and I'm I'm happy that he does. I just am saying like from a generalized video game history perspective of new RPGs on the Switch versus games on the Super Nintendo and PS1, I
hmm
don't think the Switch really stands up to it yet.
I I'm gonna have to disagree.
You could
Uh,
disagree.
and I think it's
It's okay to
because
be
of
wrong.
my I think it's because of my history with RPGs on. I seen that. I think
I
it's my
wasn't hiding it.
history. I think it's my history with a lot of consoles and RPGs, and I feel like Switch kind of has so many more to go down the list, like in name, than Super Nintendo and PlayStation One. Don't get me wrong. I think the JRPGs or RPGs on Super Nintendo are phenomenal, game changing for history. Same with PlayStation, game changing. But I think there's so many that's on Switch that could hold us all. Come on.
Mhm.
We're not gonna play around with Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yeah.
Like, I love Fire Emblem Awakening. I love Faith. I love the Fire Emblem. But how many people were on Three Hopes and still playing that game today?
Mhm. Yeah, Three Houses is amazing. I actually thought about replaying it over the break, but I didn't because, well, I didn't.
Right. And then Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Like,
Yeah, I
Yes, we
forgot
got the
about
position.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3.
You know, I trust me. There's a lot, a lot of hotness, a lot of heat on Switch than on the other consoles.
Man,
We would love for.
Nintendo has so much variety, like in terms of
Mhm.
first part. If you're just looking at first party alone on the Switch, I like just naming off these RPGs and stuff. Like I forgot. I mean, they have platformers, they have strategy RPGs, they have action RPGs, they have JRPGs, they have kart racers, they have. I mean, look how great Metroid Dread did. They have 2D Metroid games. They
Yeah,
have, I mean, Zelda, right? You have your top-down Zelda, you have your 3D Zelda, and you have your traditional 3D Zelda with Skyward Sword. Gosh, just like the whole right, Bayonetta and Mario plus Rabbids, like man, there's so much variety in terms of first party stuff. It's crazy.
hey, I love Paper Mario. That's on Switch that
Yeah,
they did
Paper
the
Mario, I
Origami King.
forgot.
Mm.
You people may laugh at it,
Luigi's
but the
Mansion.
game is funny. Oh, Luigi's Mansion 3 is so good.
It is.
Right. So, well, we're gonna get into the last question. Did you have any thoughts on that question, Courtney?
All I said was PC.
Ah,
She's got us there. You can pretty much play anything there.
You could have played that since you were a baby in diapers. Like I'm
Mm.
PC all the way.
Not
Switch.
me. I didn't have a computer until I was like 14. So
I was like 8.
oh wow.
I was
Well,
playing
my first computer was
Toontown.
one that my parents brought home. It was black, white, yellow, pink, and cyan were the 5 colors. And it was a DOS machine, and you had to type in like all these codes to get the operating system to start running, and then all the games came on like these big, huge floppy disks, and you
Oh
had to stick them
gosh.
in. And I didn't even have internet until like 1999. It was like, oh my gosh, man. Ed, remember a time when the internet didn't exist? That was
yes,
the worst. Oh, I mean, the internet's terrible, but like that was the worst. We actually had to go to the library. We actually had to call people on payphones, and my cousin and I shared a cell phone until I was a senior in high school.
Oh
Like,
wow.
and the only game on my phone was Snake.
Hey, Snake is a good game.
Ugh. Then everybody had those calculators that could play games on them, like the TI-83 Plus or whatever. I was so excited. Somebody put Tetris on my calculator.
I had Oregon Trail
Probably why I
and the
did
other
terrible in
Apple
math.
games. Like I
Yeah,
had those math games
yeah,
in elementary.
yeah.
I, we didn't
Mavis
get a
Bacon teaches
computer.
typing.
My grandma, uh, she had a computer, and the only game that I could play, two games that I could play on it, Tetris and Wheel of Fortune.
Mm, man.
My grandma had the computer I played with, but she had a CD or CD-ROM or whatever it's called, and it had like the Little Mermaid on it, and
Mm-hmm.
you could pick like all your princesses and you can color them.
Mm,
And then after that, I remember moving, and then our actual computer, Toontown came out. That was my first
Toontown.
open world game.
We had floppy disk and a little hard disk,
Yeah.
but floppy disk is what we had for ours.
No, the only game
Um,
that matters on PC is Roller Coaster Tycoon.
uh,
Eh,
yes, such
World
a
of
good game.
Warcraft.
Nope. Roller Coaster Tycoon.
World of Warcraft was big
I
when that
still
game
play
came
that.
out. I
Roller
I
Coaster
love
remember
that
Tycoon, the
game.
only one that matters.
I remember that used to be the Friday game that people in the PC era online used to play because they would like have parties, do LAN parties, or
Oh
they
yeah.
would get a whole bunch of pizza and just grind and have
Pizza
fun
sounds so
with that.
good right now.
So
Yep.
By the way,
whatever.
the rumor is that World of Warcraft is coming to Xbox when Xbox finally acquires Activision Blizzard.
Oh snap!
We'll see.
Man, I feel like that game is too old to be bringing the Game Pass at this point. You know,
Nothing too old to bring to Game Pass.
that's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
think.
you already have 2 other RPGs and Elder Scrolls and Fallout. Like, that's all I'm saying.
Well, everybody, we're gonna get into our last question. Deshaun Malone via Twitter asks, "When will Nintendo have their next direct? What do you expect in it? we just did this talk for our pre-show in
We
a
did.
sense, and we're going to save this question too because this is going to be
Ugh.
kind of for our expansion pass. But to give people a heads up, I told Corey that I think it's going to be February 15th because it's a
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, traditionally, it's always the second week of February. Traditionally, um, let me I want to look up the Nintendo Directs, the dates of these things. So we're gonna start 2022 February 9th, 2021 February 17th, 2020 was the Animal Crossing Direct was on February 20th. Um, in 2019, there was a Nintendo Direct on February 13th and a Pokemon Direct on February 27th. In 2018, there was a Direct. Uh, Wait, what did I say? 2018?
Mm-hmm.
There was a mini Direct on 1/11 and a proper Direct on 3/8. So they skipped February in 2018. But every year since 2019, there's been one the second week of February. So, that's kind of
Yeah.
the week we're circling. Who knows? It might be earlier, it might be later. I'm surprised they haven't dropped like a Fire Emblem specific Direct yet.
It's
But
gonna be on
Yeah,
I
this
mean, they're not
list.
going to at this point. It's 3 days away.
yeah. Um, Corey, one game that we forgot to mention when in our pre discussion was Pikmin 4.
Yeah, that
Ooh.
might be. I think that's going to be the June game.
Okay.
I think Advance Wars is going to be the April game,
Mm-hmm.
and Pikmin 4 is going to be the June game. And I
I
think
think
that
we're
that's your lineup for the first 6 months. You got, because Nintendo will have a first party game every month, right? They'll have
Yeah.
January. They'll have Fire Emblem. February Kirby. March Bayonetta Origins. April would be Advance Wars. May would be Zelda, and then June would be Pikmin.
yeah. I think in this direct we'll see more of Pikmin
Yeah.
or something, and of course we'll definitely have some more talk on the Super Mario movie. So
Yeah,
I could see it.
so how are we going to do that? Are we going to do some sort of discussion on that? Because I don't know if I really want to pay to see that movie, but I think we should probably do it in the
so
scheme of this
I think
show. I know that
we're
people
gonna.
are doing the Last of Us show for Boss Rush podcast.
Mhm.
I'm not doing it because I don't care about the Last of Us. But uh, I don't know. I feel like maybe the Mario movie. Maybe I'll take my nephews to go see it.
So I think the plan is people go see it. We're gonna wait a week after it comes out
Yeah,
and then have a
we want to
discussion.
give
It
people.
may be like a doc mode kind of discussion.
Yeah, we want to give people
Hmm.
a chance to watch it, right? So
Yeah.
Yes. So we don't ruin it or throw out spoilers.
yeah,
Yes. Because I'm hoping to go see um Lamont that
yeah,
weekend and we go see it. So
yeah. Okay.
so but with that everybody, that's gonna be it for Nintendo Power Block.
Yay.
Uh
Woo!
uh that's gonna be a wrap, you guys. Thank you for the support, for the love. We are getting close to the end of the month, so there's gonna be some great games. We are gonna be talking about Fire Emblem Engage. um if we don't get to it to next episode, we're gonna wait a week
Oh,
and
I'm
get
talking about
to
it
it.
next week. You're not going to stop me from talking about it next week.
I mean, we'll talk about it, but I think we won't have like a deep dive and stuff because we do want to get Grayson evolve. Apparently, he wasn't able to make a couple of episodes this month, but hopefully, we'll be able to see him when he gets back.
Well, he's going to be too busy
And
writing the guide for me.
so, is he writing the guy for
I don't
Fire?
know. Look, he's the lead guides writer. He needs to write the guide so I can follow it. Don't pull Zelda Dungeon either, okay? Look, I'm still mad about the Zelda Dungeon guide I was following for Link's Awakening. But Look, Grayson, you don't want to be on my bad side when you're writing a guide, okay? I'm just saying, the Link's Awakening one, the instructions were not for the Switch version. The screenshots were for the Switch version. The instructions, not for the Switch version. So, just saying.
We'll send you some Chicago hot dogs, Chicago style hot dogs.
No, I want pizza, man. I don't want hot dogs. I want pizza. Although the Chicago pizza is not real pizza, so
You want that New York pizza?
I would, but you're not gonna buy me New York pizza. I'll settle for Domino's.
Anyone would settle for Domino's.
Oh my gosh, dude! I have a Domino's gift card. I have a $25 gift card. Domino's behind me in a bucket.
Get it.
Look at us, just chillaxing during this episode when it should be over.
Chillaxing.
It's fine. I don't want it to be over. I do though, because I feel I'm. As soon as we hang up this call, I am crashing on the couch. Like, no joke.
And with that, everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you next time on Nintendo Power Block. Just to let everybody know that the Microsoft Developer Direct, even though that's not part of Nintendo, we are going to be watching it.
Well, we'll talk about Minecraft is coming to Switch, so we can talk about Minecraft.
Ooh.
Yes. So we'll probably dive into that maybe sometime after it shows. But I'm excited for it to watch it. It's their Developers Direct. This is what Microsoft is calling it. And hopefully we see more of it and everything. Also, there's a rumor state of play for Sony. So it's going to be a big year kind of for these directs to see what is up and coming, and how these up and coming showcases how they may affect the Nintendo. That's a discussion to have. So we don't have it on Power Block. We might end up having it on Expression Pass. With that, everybody, have a great week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time on Nintendo Power Block. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Nintendo Power Block is a product of Boss Rush Media, LLC, and is recorded from our headquarters in Akron, Ohio. The show is hosted by me, Edward Varnell. My co-hosts are Corey Derrick and Courty Yikes. You can find Corey at IamCoreyNHD on Twitter and Instagram, as well as hosting the Boss Rush Podcast and Tower Casuals, the Destiny Podcast. You can find Courty at Courty_Yikes on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. You can find me at That Richard Cole on Twitter and Instagram. Follow Nintendo Power Block on all social media platforms at Power Block Podcast. You can also follow Boss Rush Media and Boss Rush Network on all major social media platforms. Join the Boss Rush Network, Discord, and Facebook groups to interact with other friends and fans. Visit bossrush.net for more great content and patreon.com/bossrushmedia to learn how you can support this show. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.